these type of webinars are necessary because for all of us, me as a practitioner, I need to educate myself constantly because rules and policies and regulations are changing almost on a daily basis, which no doubt are impacting immigrants, communities, as well as policymakers and the other individuals involved in this situation that we have found ourselves in. Of course, we were expecting that Trump administration 2.0 would be Trump 2.1 on a steroid. And that's exactly what we have, particular immigration and policies. Well, one thing that we have, of course, in the past few months we have experienced is he's promised that he goes after, the administration goes after immigrants with new policies or more strict performance and enforcement of immigration policies. One of the areas that the whole thing started, and I believe that many in our communities of immigrants, and we are all immigrants here, are the students and academia. We have seen the situation in certain universities, educational institutions like Columbia, NYU, Harvard, and so forth and so on, and also how these policies are impacting students. Foreign students who are in this country on certain type of visas, and how they have suddenly found themselves in a very, very challenging environment. Anxiety is pretty high. Personally, I know clients that I have, they are just, they don't know what's going to happen to their visa. They don't know what's going to happen to renewal of their visa. So one of the areas that back in March and end of March and beginning of April, the administration started doing is a student, they have a system called SEVIS, which stands for Student and Exchange Visitor Information System. That is a system under the control of ICE, which is Immigration and Custom Enforcement, that has all the information regarding the students and who is coming in, how they come in, and what type of education they are ensuing and pursuing, and so forth. And back in the end of March, beginning of April, this automatic system started terminating this SEVIS, which is basically the status of the students. So suddenly students, they found themselves without any legal status. Fortunately, in May, with the help of legal community, there was an injunction, and this automatic termination of SEVIS was changed, and they go case-on-case basis. But still that is a very challenging environment for students. My recommendation always to my clients or those who contact us is, if you don't have to leave the country, do not leave the country, especially if you are on a student visa or student exchange type visas. One of the areas that administration has been also concentrating on is basically snooping and looking into social media of students. And again, for those who are applying for students visa, F1 visas, and those who are here, they have to provide a history of their social media postings. Of course, with certain immigrant visas, that has been at the part of a National Visa Center and State Department. But as part of USCIS, we have seen more and more this type of requirement at the part of a student. So my recommendations always been to the students is just be, as they call it, be chill, and try to be as mellow on your social postings. Of course, one thing that we have in this country is freedom of speech, freedom of expression, First Amendment. And we see that as practitioners, this as some kind of assault on our rights, on constitutional rights in terms of free speech. And we have seen results of it in, especially in Columbia and Harvard. Students who past few months, they were organizing and protesting and having demonstration, although many of them peaceful, in support of Palestinian people. They were targeted, and many of them, their visas were canceled. Even green card holders, they were put in the deportation and removal proceeding. So that is the environment, unfortunately, that we have to deal with, and we have to be very cautious. And of course, from the legal point of view, we have to push back against such policies that are, in my view, are very much un-American. One of the areas, again, regarding the students that the new administration is targeting is a program called Optional Practical Training for the students. Students who graduate from American universities, they can be provided by certain employers a practical training following their graduation. And for the past, this has been one of the most beneficial programs that immigration has had because it provides for employers to incorporate students who are graduated from educational institutions inside the US, and also for students to find a new endeavor following graduation. Unfortunately, right now, OPT has been looked at very strictly, and there is tremendous pressure on employers to not provide this type of program, this kind of training program to students. And again, that's one area that we are hoping as we go through more adjustment with the new system, with the new policy, new worldview of the immigration by the Trump administration, we can have some type of settlement as far as these types of programs provide. Again, we are dealing with constant change in the immigration policies. For example, today, the State Department, they announced that for individuals who are coming in on tourist visa or on a temporary business type, they call it B1, B2 visa, they are proposing for applicants to post bond anywhere between 5,000 to 15,000 before they can be issued this type of visa. Of course, certain countries, for example, those from European countries who are under visa waiver, they are exempt. And also they have mentioned that it's going to be on a case-by-case basis. Some might get exemption, some might not, but that's a new policy. So if someone is coming here on a tourist visa, be careful and be ready that they might ask for a $10,000 bond to make sure that, first of all, when your visa is over or prior to that, you leave the country. And also there is some kind of financial backup for the US government, so they would not subsidize anything that might happen to you. Also, there is a new policy. We don't know exactly all the details, and that is regarding marriage, adjustment of status. Those who come here and they are married to a US citizen, and they say that new policy would go to the USCIS once the interview is done. If the adjudicating officer is not satisfied, they can issue a notice to appear, NTA. So it goes to the immigration court, and I'm sure Judge Tabador, she can elaborate on that more than I do. But that's another new policy. That means another assault on the rights of immigrants who come here and they've been married, they are getting married, and marriage is bona fide, But still there is more scrutiny as far as this type of situation is concerned. One of the areas that we also get many calls is the gold card, green card, that I'm sure you all remember. President Trump mentioned that he's going to issue these gold cards for $5 million, and people, they can come in, they can buy these. Is it like a some kind of like a American Express type thing, and they become a green card holder. They can get the green card. They become a permanent resident. Of course, as anticipated, this is kind of being pushed back because again, all these type of policies to open a new type of visa, it has to go through the congressional approval. And right now, the Congress is so busy with so many things. And so President Trump or any other president, they cannot just add a new visa sua sponte, on their own through the executive orders. But these are the types of visas that we have. We are facing. There's a new situation. And so at this point, I give it back to you, Dr. Mia. And I'm sure on the Q&A session, I'll be available to answer more questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kazemi. It was wonderful of you to share your expertise on visa statuses, but there will be plenty of time to ask questions later on in the program. So I'd like everyone to remain on board, and please join us at the end of the program